I've said it once and I'll say it again. There is nobody more racist than a liberal when they find out that you disagree with them. Liberals love to throw around the word racist. They say conservatives are racist, white people are racist, MAGA is racist, Republican is racist. And y'all are the only ones thinking about race 24/7. Y'all have been assuming that I'm Hispanic. I've heard someone say, go back to Guatemala. And then y'all comment the, con el nopal en la frente, soy asiática, bitch. I'm not Hispanic. Like, y'all are being rude. And the fact that even if I were Hispanic, you would try to use that nopal en la frente, soy asiática, bitch.
Everybody ain't playing nice no more. Everybody pulling the guns out.
I'm not Hispanic. Like, y'all are being rude. And the fact that even if I were Hispanic, you would try to use that against me is disgusting. I made a few videos with my friends. All of the comments are, there's a bean in the rice. Go back to Guatemala. Oh, it all makes sense now. She's trying to be white. People of color can't have white friends. You're disgusting. You're actually fucking disgusting. I didn't even think about the color of my friends when I was hanging out with them. I didn't think about the color of me when I was hanging out with them. Nobody is thinking about race except for liberals.
That's true. Sometimes it's funny because I can go places and people will automatically assume that I'm liberal just because I'm black. And people insert race into the conversation. And I don't assume somebody is automatically like, I think that the biggest thing that you can probably miss, and you'll miss more times than not, is to automatically assume that just because somebody is white, that they automatically Republican or they conservative. Or just because you are in a conservative state, that you are not in a liberal city. For example, a lot of people take Texas and they automatically associate Texas with, red because Texas is red. But if you hang around Houston, then Houston is a definitively blue city, all across the board. And so people would automatically assume that California is blue because all of California is blue. But if you look all around California and you get outside of Los Angeles, a lot of people are conservative. So people use race or they use demographics in order to justify certain things. And it's not an accurate depiction of what's really happening in the United States of America. You can't assign anything to anybody anymore unless they got blue and purple hair. Then that's you could probably go with the pink, orange, some man rocking orange hair, a woman with a septum ring. You could probably start to go by that, but you can't go by race alone. And so people will then, it's funny because when you start to think about liberals, conservatives are way more tolerant of other people's views. Republicans are way more tolerant because we don't believe in censoring other people. I've seen people on live streams, right on this application, on this videos, on this app where you're watching this video. I've seen people, if you don't agree with them in the comments based off of their political views, they will automatically time you out or they will censor you or they will kick you off the platform because they live in an echo chamber. They only want to be around people that agree with them, even though they believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Black people in particular is so funny because they believe that we should have representation in everything so that we can have a voice, except in the Republican Party because they automatically assume Trump bad. And it's all propaganda. They don't even have that. Most of the things that they say, if you go to any of these rallies, I've been to a lot of these liberal protests and rallies, and I've asked these people, even on camera, I've dropped some videos on this platform. Even on camera, I've asked people, hey, why are you voting for this? Do you even know what fascism mean? What is this no king saying? Where are you from? And so people just want to be a part of something. They don't even know what the fuck it means. They're taking their talking points from advertising that's being marketed to them from the Democrat Party and from paid protesters. A lot of these protesters be paid. And so they just saying wild and reckless things in order to try to incentivize you to vote a certain way so that they can keep power concentrated in a certain space. And what a lot of y'all don't even realize is that it's not that Democrats actually agree with you, right? It's not that they actually align with you. They actually think more like us. They're more like us. They're capitalistic. They don't believe in paying more taxes. They believe in smaller government unless it comes with a job. If you look at the way in which they live their lives and who it is that they hire, and I remember a lot of people were saying that people don't want to vote for Kamala Harris because she a black woman. Man, she married to a white man. What the fuck is you talking about? How is that any difference than JD Vance being married to an Indian woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dumb as hell, the logic. But because it's a talking point and it's easy to get off, people just automatically rock with it, and that's just the way that it is. It's funny.
And think about the color of my friends when I was hanging out with them. I didn't think about the color of me when I was hanging out with them. Nobody is thinking about race except for liberals. Another thing, y'all tell people of color who to vote for like you're some white savior. Y'all all have the white savior complex, and liberals just love to tell people of color who to vote for. Like, Biden literally said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Okay? Y'all come in my comment section saying, because I voted red, because I made a decision for myself, you're racist against your own people. You're trying to be white. You should know the struggle. You're oppressed. The fact that you're telling me who I need to vote for and who all people of color need to vote for, that's oppression. Okay? Liberals just need some sort of oppressed group to pretend that they're allies with to get votes. That's literally all the Liberal Party has been doing. Listen to Malcolm X. He has said a white liberal pretending to be an ally is the most dangerous thing. Okay? He literally called that y'all were going to be on some bullshit. It's honestly just insane to me how liberals are thinking about race 25-8. And I already know the comments in this comment section are going to be like, oh, well, your hair is blonde. You're trying to be.
Yo, she cooked. She pulled out the Malcolm X reference, but he did say that. That is an accurate depiction, and I say that on the Millionaire Morning Show. It's funny because the white apologist or the white liberal, boy, they are determined to tear this country all the way down the frame. They telling that they tearing this country out the frame. White liberals, apologists are tearing this country out the frame. And it's funny because they're all inclusive until you disagree with them. And then they are some of the most hateful, evil people inside the comments. When they know, see, the thing about this woman is that she's gonna have to get tougher skin, and she's gonna have to stop acknowledging them. Unless this is actually profiting her, she got to stop acknowledging them. She just got to cook, and she just got to keep on saying what she's saying and standing tall. But if they think that they can actually get to you, then they gonna be all up and down your wall, all up and down your comment section, trying to tell you what you should and shouldn't think and how it is that you need to move. And then that's gonna obviously come with its own issues and its own problems. But people just got to get a backbone. They need to get a little bit more sturdy with what it is that they're saying. They need to become even more educated. And I think what the fear is from a lot of black liberals in particular, or people of color, as they like to say, the fear is the more that they learn, the more they realize that the things that they actually align with don't really make sense. Like when we were growing up, I thought and I was taught that you had to vote Democrat just because you're black for some reason. But the more I realized that the way that we lived our lives and what we stood for, and we actually was standing for closed borders and more of our money inside of our pockets and less taxes and don't eliminate babies. And I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, all of these things is based off of the Republican Party. Why are we voting Democrat? But when you unlock yourself, it's still going to take a little bit more extra courage to step outside and stand on what you believe. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. I always like to link back to the content creators. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.